Hello, tea family. Welcome to the replay. How is everyone doing today? You'll notice we are outside, and the reason we're outside is although it's a little chilly with the wind, it is beautiful weather, and we love to be outside as much as possible in between that really cold winter in the Midwest and the really hot summer in the Midwest. So, welcome. As always, if you're here and you want to say hello, feel free to say hello in the comments. Let us know what tea you're enjoying. And if you have any questions, that is the place to put them. I have a handy dandy assistant who will be watching them and letting me know what the questions are as we go along. He's waving to you all, even though you all cannot see him on the camera. But we're going to go ahead and get started today. We're going to be making a green tea today. As you know, we always make a tea, and we're really going to be talking about this for quite a bit today. And we are making Harmony Blend. Look at that. That's really cool. With the sun, the way the light's coming in. So we are going to see. Well, that makes it look really blurry. So that sun is a cool effect. Yeah, not so much when I'm trying to show you something. Gotta love it. There you go. It drops onto my computer. But you can see we've got some Centra green tea in here. Oh, it just smells so good. We have freeze-dried strawberries and we have orange peel. And the berry and the citrus just blend really well. There's no bitterness or anything from the green tea when you make it. But it just smells like, oh, it's kind of fruity, but at the same point in time, it's kind of got a little earthy note to it. But this is what we're going to be making, and I'm going to use my infuser since I'm outside and I didn't want to bring a whole bunch of stuff. And we've used this before. This is my to-go. You'll usually see me if I'm at work or anything like that. I'll try and adjust this a little bit. Yeah, that's worse. There we go. That should be better. So, we're going to put it in here. We know we'll add the water separate and we'll be able to do it. And that'll allow me to have a little less out in the Kansas wind. So, so there you go. Let's see if we can get a better picture. It's a little muted, but you can see all the big green tea leaves and just strawberry pieces and little bits of orange in there. It is our most colorful one, for sure, voted on by our tea lovers. So put this double lid, and all I'm going to do is, you can see I've got it in here. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to use this infuser again just for my Harmony tea today, and we're waiting for the green tea to start on here. So what I wanted to really talk about in specific is, like, why does this blend work, and then what would we pair it with? As always, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I apologize for the light that is streaming through the trees behind me. Adjusting the camera doesn't help, but when we set this up earlier, we didn't have a problem with it at all. There was no streaming light because the sun hadn't kind of gone down. And then, being the first day of daylight savings time, that is, first of all, very not fun when you get up as early as I do. We're not as used to where the sun is at this point in the day, so forgive us. The picture's not perfect, but we're struggling on today. So I've got
camera is facing west.
Yes, the camera is facing west. That is mostly so that I'm not looking like this the entire thing, because I'd be looking into the west otherwise. So this is how we did, and this is the way our table is out on our porch. So I already talked about, we have the green tea for Harmony that has, the green tea is from Japan. And then we use freeze-dried strawberries, and we use orange peel. Now, the orange peel are from oranges right here in the USA that we dehydrate, but we do freeze dry the strawberries. The reason why we freeze dry the strawberries, like I've said for other teas that we have, is because it locks in the flavor, it locks in all the nutrients, and it makes it shelf stable for a longer period of time. Not everybody is like me that goes through their tea fairly quickly, so I wouldn't have tea, typically speaking, years and years down the line. I would have purchased more and I would be replacing it. And so if it's going to stand the test of time a little bit longer, we want to make sure it's freeze dried so that it will last as long as you need it to last. Do you still have to store it properly, which is why you saw the double lidded tin? Nice tight seal. I don't know. You kind of hear it when you pull it out. It's there's a little bit of a vacuum as it pulls off and on. And our water is almost up to temperature. I'm so excited. So the one thing is, when you do a green or a white tea that has freeze-dried fruit in it, one tip for you is to let that initial brew be at least 2 minutes. Now, black teas, since they have an initial brew of 3 minutes, is no big deal. But when you're talking about the white or the green teas, they typically only, yay! Okay, so we just take this part off now. Love this thing. So you typically would only brew them for 1 minute. We want to brew it for 2. So I'm going to pour my water in. Now this is double insulated, so I don't feel the burning hot water. I'm going to shut that off. Move it out of our way. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is put this on here. Make sure it's nice and snug. Flip it over. And then what you'll see is the water is coming down and it is going to hydrate all those tea leaves. Yay! So, set my handy dandy timer, because I do use a timer for, as you all know, 2 minutes on the clock. And then I get to enjoy some wonderful harmony while we chat about questions and food pairings. So, that's something I like to talk about a lot, because typically, if you're going to take that tea break during your day, many times you'll have food with it. So I always try and give you some ideas. What would I pair with this? Now, I already talked about earlier, we have some citrus in this, and we have some sugary fruit in it, but we do balance that with kind of that earthy tone of the green tea from Japan. So what would I pair this with? Well, typically green teas are really going to be good with any kind of salad, vegetarian dishes, any kind of green curry dishes, especially ones that could be a little bit on the hotter side, medium to hot, because if you have a fruity or a sweeter tasting tea from the fruit in it, it will help balance that heat a little bit. Light chicken dishes. So if we were having grilled chicken without really a sauce or anything like that, or we were doing something very much with like a grilled chicken with caprese with some fresh homemade mozzarella and tomatoes with just a little bit balsamic vinegar on the top and basil, then this would really pair very, very well with that. It would be actually like the perfect complement to that dish, where you're balancing some of the sweetness of the tomatoes, and you have the creaminess of the fresh mozzarella, and yet you have the grilled chicken. It's a lighter flavor for your protein, and then the sweetness of that sweet basil would blend really well with what you've got, because you've got a lot of similar notes in here. The other thing you could do is seafood. Now, not a seafood that's drenched in a heavy sauce or anything, but like a light topping, seafood that's just grilled, whatever. And now you can see this is now a nice light golden yellow color from being brewed. But it has stopped brewing, which means it is not going to be, and you can see how much more it takes up now. It can almost completely takes up the entire container, whereas before it was just a little bit. But now we've got this, and I can just pour it into my glass. What do you think? Should I be nice? I guess I could be nice. I'll make some for my handy dandy assistant. He usually steals it. The water will have stayed in this particular kettle. So welcome everyone. Now, because I am going to be brewing this an additional time, I'm going to brew it for 3 minutes. And as you can see, it's just going to brew again. Super easy. Okay, so I will let my handy dandy have some Harmony today. Usually as soon as I stop sipping it on the camera, he steals it and drinks it anyway. But, you know, this time I'll actually make him his own cup. He'll just have to get his own cup. But
I'll just drink it out of the thing.
He wants to just drink it out of the thing, which you can. I've done that at work. I've just consumed my tea right out of here as well. So what else? If I wanted to be a little bit more creative with my Harmony tea, oh my gosh, so light. I'm trying to show you so you can see if you can get the color. I guess that shows the color the best because the way the sunlight is. I really, if I was going to kind of go outside of the box and pair this with a food, one of the things that I would actually suggest is something that they usually suggest for a white tea, and that is what I brought along for a snack today. So I have grapes, and then right here you'll see I have little cube sliced pieces. My handy dandy assistant chopped these up from our block earlier today of extra sharp white cheddar cheese, and that is because although your green teas, especially one that has that fruit and citrus in it, it can handle the bite of an extra sharp cheddar cheese, especially if you're balancing that with like some sweet grapes and fruit like that. So it really is a nice little snack if you wanted to, you know, cube up some cheese or some sharp cheddar cheese in the morning or whatever your favorite. You could even do this with a Parmesan. But if you kind of put that up and you put some grapes in a container and you had it for your tea time, it would be the perfect protein sweet snack for you at work, and it would meld really, really well with this. Oh my gosh. It is, so let me describe this. This is not overwhelming, just a very light note. It's not heavy over the top, sugary, sweet, berry flavor to it. It is a balance. You've got a balance of the citrus that meets the sweetness of the berry that meets the green tea. So I'm super excited that it is back. It is only here 4 months out of the year. It is very popular while we have it. So I'm always excited when we have it back. And if you look, and I just want to show you how big those green leaves are in the tea. You can kind of almost tell. They're really big in there, which is why this actually goes up here and it gives you plenty of room for those. His tea's going to be done in a minute. So I would do that. White teas, you typically want like a mild cheese, but this is a green, so you could go with a little more. Now, if I was having this in the morning, cereals like bran flakes or a whole grain flake like that had some sort of fruit with it, whether it's red berry, okay, or it is, and then you can see that is still a nice light color. It's a little bit lighter for the second brew, but the flavor will be the same. And I will hand this off.
Yay!
My handy dandy assistant.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not gonna force him to watch me drink the tea and steal it in the end. So if you had those, because it's really gonna bring out the berry flavor in this, and I invite you next time, try some Harmony. Take a sip. Get the flavor in your mouth. Then, when you want to really see how well it brings out flavors, then Like well, if I'm going to cheat and have a sugary cereal, it's not even a sugary cereal, but if I had like a bran flakes and strawberry, red berry kind of a cereal in the morning or as a supper sometime, I would take a sip of my Harmony tea. I would take a spoonful of that cereal in the milk, and then I would immediately take another sip of my tea. Because even just doing that with a couple of bites of white cheddar cheese, I now taste so much more in the tea. And then when you go to take your next bite of cereal, you're going to notice that berry flavor is going to come out more. You'll notice it's going to seem sweeter in your mouth almost, because it has complemented the tea. So now you've got two different flavors in your mouth kind of complementing each other as opposed to competing. So that would be something else. Let's see. Do we have any questions?
Nope.
Okay, I just wanted to check. I can't look. I keep glancing down every once in a while just to see if there's a question that comes up.
The sun's down forever.
Yay, the sun is down so we can all see now. I can show you better what it looks like. There you go. So that's what Harmony looks like. Had like the streak of sunlight coming down. All right. So I would invite you, if you have any questions, that we've been talking specifically about Harmony today, but if you had any other questions that you wanted to shoot out about this or food pairings with this or anything like that, please go ahead and put them in there. Otherwise, I do want to remind you that we will be having a sort of just after Easter, but before Mother's Day sale, a live sale on, when is it? It's a really good question. Life has gotten crazy. Coming up soon, like the end of the month, the beginning of April. I want to say it's in the beginning of April. So watch for that. We will definitely be having, we found a really amazing little teapot. In fact, could you go grab the teapot? The one that has the white with the blue flowers on it. And I'm going to show you one of the teapots that we will actually be using with it. Will have the spoon that goes so it measures perfectly in there, and it will have an ounce in a deluxe tin of tea. But I will give you a little sneak peek. There we go. The one in your left hand. Now they're both in his left hand. I love how he just did that this way.
They have blue on both of them.
And so here is the teapot that will be included. All right. Now I will give you one other little sneak peek for that event while we wait to see if anybody has comments, and that is that we sold out for all but one tin of our leap year tea, so I may include that. But I wanted to tell you about something else. We are definitely into March. We are coming up next week. Thank you, Diane. We thought it was really pretty too. Has little hints of purple in it. I don't know if you all can see really well, but it has little hints of purple to go with the blue and the leaves. Just really nice.
I haven't beat up some old lady from yard sale.
He did not beat up any old ladies. But one of the things I am going to be doing is starting tomorrow through the end of March, because we are in St. Patrick's Day season now. So our morning Irish tea will be on sale from starting tomorrow, which is the 11th, through the end of the month on the 31st. So that will be at a discount on our website. So look for that. And we're going to offer that. That is, remember, that's our highest caffeinated tea. That's the one where my granddaughter Peyton says she just needs to sniff it to be able to get up out of bed in the morning, which I still think is absolutely hysterical. She does drink it as well, but I just think it's hysterical that in her mind she only has to smell it to get out of bed. But that is the black tea blend that is similar to an Irish breakfast, but we call it Morning Irish. And so that will be on sale through the end of the month starting tomorrow. So, yes, Stephanie does love that tea. And remember, Stephanie, I know you sometimes want to be able to cut back on your caffeine at the end of the day. Brew it for a minute, put that high caffeine tea aside for the next morning, and then brew it again, and you'll be able to drink and get that wonderful flavor, but not have all the caffeine at the end of the day, which is always an amazing thing for those that have issues drinking caffeine at the end of the day. So I'm not seeing any questions. I did happen to see those 2 comments. So I would say brew up some Harmony tea, enjoy some cheese and grapes, or be daring, have some of that red berry or red berry cereal, or that raisin and bran flake cereal, or one of the other ones that's out there, and try it. But remember, or take one of the seafoods or the chicken dishes that I've suggested, try a sip of the tea, try a bite of the food, and then take another sip of the tea and see how the flavor changes in your mouth. So if nobody else has any other questions, I'm going to say go enjoy your Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.